How's it going, everyone? This is DJ Aceman along with the legendary Life of Big Don here today for the Peace and Chaos program. What's going on, Big Don?
Nothing much, nothing much. I think we got a pretty good show tonight. So a couple of things happened during the week that we like to address. First, let's plug the Twitter here.
Yes, let's get the Twitter. Just a reminder, everyone, you can always follow us on Twitter, Peace and Chaos P1. That is Peace and Chaos P1. I have the handle right here. So you can go follow us on Twitter. We're always going to accept followers no matter what. So you can always go check us out there. And you can always go leave a like on our last few tweets. And always, we're going to be posting just reminders on Twitter. So always check it out. And this is one of our pin tweets of the new logo. If you haven't known already, we did change our logo. We updated it from this old one here to this new one here. And you can always go check it out. And also, we have an Instagram as well. So you can always catch up with us on there. We post some memes, some funny clips like we have here. And we also just post some things about what we are and also some content that is going to be coming out. So you can also go follow us there. That is Peace and Chaos _podcast. That is Peace and Chaos _podcast. All right, everyone. It's been a pretty wild week. There have been some a couple things that have gone on this week. It has been kind of quiet in terms of politics, but there have been a few incidents, and we want to get to it right now with the Atlanta shooting. So in the middle of this week, there was a shooting in Atlanta at 3 different spas that we know of. The shooter was 21 years old, Robert Aaron Long from Georgia, and he killed 8 people in total. There were 2 spas in Atlanta specifically, and then one outside of Atlanta to the northwest. And 8 people in total have lost their lives due to it, and 6 people were Asian, women, and 6 were Asian. 7 out of the 8 were women, 6 people were Asian. So this has really brought up a lot of discussion this week in terms of the rise in anti-Asian American incidents in the United States, along with gun rights and things to that nature. And I want to get your thoughts on this, Big Don. What do you think of how do you think of this incident in terms of like the rise in anti-Asian incidents in the US, and also kind of just this whole story?
Yeah, so it's a lot to unpack here, if I'm being quite honest with you. If we're to look over these discrimination that Asians faced during probably the longevity of the United States history. We can go all the way back to World War II, back when they were in internment camps, and we can see this definitely now. I think there's a huge correlation between having very adversarial relationships with countries like China, Korea, Japan, and the amount of Asian hate that's going on in America. I mean, right now we're at a pretty much all-time high with this. I mean, with the coronavirus, which we're also going to be doing some live updates for the coronavirus as well. We're going to be checking some stats with that. But ever since this thing kind of started, even dating back to January, there was a huge, and this is dating back to the Trump administration, there was a huge amount of antagonism towards people in China, and then I would say that carried over into sort of what we're seeing now. I mean, even leading up to the shooting, there are many articles about Asian hate crimes going up, as BJ will allude to right here with this fine article.
Yeah, this is NBC News. They put this out there. There were 3,800 anti-Asian racist incidents, mostly against women in the past year or so, since the coronavirus actually occurred. And it says here that women made up a far higher share of the reports at 68% compared to men, who only made up 29% of respondents. This was by the Stop AAPI Hate. This was their forum. And close to 3,800 incidents were reported from March 19th, 2020 to February 28th, 2021. So it really goes to show you that, and a lot of women are targeted here. So it really goes to show you that a lot of these incidents have been targeted at women, mostly Asian women. Men, I mean, I think of it this way, maybe men were just not, maybe they were afraid or alienated not to say that they were victims. That could be a possibility.
That could be.
So there could be more men who were targeted, but they just didn't really feel like they wanted to do it. But it really goes to show you how, with the whole pandemic, how a lot of people might view a certain race, in this case, Asian people, as, they just probably saw that. And also because of the whole coronavirus, they were probably starting to maybe feel antagonated. And it goes into like all the details that several incidents occurred from February until now. Some people were getting called, awful words, can't really repeat it on here, get the bleep out. That's what they were saying to a lot of people. And it really goes to show you that, I mean, this day and age, like you just mentioned, Big Don, about the Trump administration, like we did really see a big spike. I think half of it has to do with the president's rhetoric. I think the other half has to do with just the relations with some of these countries. I mean, I would say Korea and Japan are pretty good friends of ours, but I think it's more of China. And I think even though the US and China aren't really on good terms, it unfortunately impacts some of their maybe their immigrants who move to the US, and maybe sometimes a lot of people who might not understand who they are and what their culture is. They
Right.
might just reflect, okay, on the news I've heard that this country is bad, so maybe the people are bad too. And these are just generalizations that are not true, but people sometimes believe them. And I think, going back to that, I think that with this whole pandemic and with everything else going on, we really that might be the incident with it, with the pandemic, and how everyone views Asian Americans.
Yeah, but let's go back to the actual case itself with what happened in Atlanta. Now, there's a lot of speculation of what the actual motives of the shooter were. Initially, right now they're saying it's like a sexual urge, which we can get
Mhm.
into, like the sexualization of Asian, especially Asian women
Mhm.
for our culture.
Yep.
But then again, this guy also shot like two white people.
Yeah, I think, I mean, the shooter, didn't he say his motivation was because he was addicted to this?
Yeah, I
Like
think he was trying to get
addicted
rid
to
of his
going.
urge somehow.
Um yeah, they haven't really called it a hate crime yet. I don't think they have. As of March, I mean, as of today, they haven't really called it a hate crime
Yeah,
yet.
that's gonna be the big case. What's gonna come down here?
And I mean, yeah, they said that he had a really big urge of going to these types of places, and he was 21 years old, so he was a young man. But some people in the media believe that this was race related, in terms of because a lot of women, I think 6 out of the 8 employees were Asian at the 3 separate locations, were
Yep.
Asian. And I mean, I think I think a lot of Asian Americans do work in spas of that nature. I think it's a high percentage of people who work in that industry. A lot of them are Asian women. But I don't know if it might be hate crime. I mean, I think there's going to be a big
It
investigation
depends on how
into.
you define hate crime. I
I
mean,
think
we
I
don't
think there's
know.
I think hate crime. I think one of the definitions of hate crime is like when you commit a crime solely based, your motive is solely based on race or of something of that nature, somebody's orientation that they can't change.
Yeah. Let's see here. Do we have a? Let's see if we can find an official definition of hate crime, just so we can
All right, yeah,
do a
let's
little
go.
casework here.
Yeah, let's get that updated. Yeah, here we always
Because
do.
because if it was like a sexual like fetish thing, then I wouldn't really call it like a hate crime because he's not really like hating on Asians or anything like that. It's
Yeah,
hard to classify because there this only happened like I don't know like a few days ago, and then obviously not a lot of stuff has came out about it.
mhm. This is just going into detail about hate crime in Georgia. I'm just trying to look it up here. Anyways, they say that Georgia hate crime law is still less than a year old after Brian Kemp signed it into law last June. So this is pretty big. Um, does it say though? It says that the measure imposes additional penalties for crimes motivated by a victim's race, color, religion, national origin, sex, sexual orientation, gender, or disability. So this is a new law, but let's just go back and just go at what legal, like a hate crime is
Yeah, let's see if we
in the
can find like
USA.
a legal definition of it.
Let's go
I mean, they
USA.
do give a pretty good definition there, I would say.
Hate crime. Justice.gov. We'll go on here. This website. What is a hate crime? It is a crime plus the motivation for committing the crime based on bias, which is a hate crime. So they said the term hate can be misleading. When used in a hate crime law, the word hate does not mean rage, anger, or general dislike. In this context, hate means bias against people or groups with specific characteristics that are defined by the law.
Yeah,
At
if
the
you
federal
were,
level, yep.
I think, you can make an argument with that definition in mind.
And then they go into detail here. At the federal level, hate crime laws include crimes committed on the basis of the victim's perceived or actual race, color, religion, national origin, sexual orientation, gender identity, or disability. It says most hate crime laws include crimes committed on the basis of race, color, and religion, many also including crimes committed on the basis of sexual orientation, gender identity, and disability. And then it says the crime. The crime in hate crime is often a violent crime, such as assault, murder, arson, vandalism, or threats to commit such crimes. It may also cover conspiring or asking another person to commit such crimes, even if the crime was never carried out.
Yeah, you can make a pretty compelling case. I mean, the two definitions, I would say the DOJ one is obviously I would probably take that more for word, but I don't know. It depends on what the case is going to fall under.
I don't know. I think it might fall under Georgia law. And that was their law looks a lot like what the federal one is with this Department of Justice and how they define it. So I'm thinking maybe, but it probably will stay in Georgia, I'm assuming, unless it does go federal, but I'm not too sure.
Now, another factor that was kind of brought up is the date he obtained this weapon. I think he obtained it like the day of, or correct me if I'm wrong, but I think he purchased it very recently, right before the shooting. So that kind of goes back into the whole gun debate here. Let's see if I have source here.
I'm gonna go look that up because I didn't actually know when he got the gun. I think it happened. Well, the shooting did happen on Tuesday or Wednesday, but I don't know when he actually purchased the gun. We can look that up though.
Chat, fill us on any information that we're missing here because we're kind of going along with this. I mean, we've heard about this stuff. I mean, we just want to confirm it here. Let us see here. Because if he did, then that's going to spark like a whole debate of like, okay, what's going to be the registration requirement for purchasing a firearm, and then I don't remember what kind of, whether the firearm was like fully automatic or semi-automatic.
Yeah, I don't know what kind of gun it had, but let me go check it out. I'm gonna see the timeline.
Let us see.
Let's go to this one. Alrighty, chat. This is USA Today. Let me go check it out. So this did happen. So this happened at 4 p.m. 4:50, but they're not really telling you when he got the gun.
AP. Yeah, they don't. Let's see here. Victims.
Yeah, they never really say when he got the gun.
All right. Well, I think that's going to be left up in the air. I think we're going to go back to the gun debate on this one.
It says officials say the suspect, Robert Aaron Long of Woodstock, Georgia, told them the acts were not racially motivated. Long told them that he has a sexual addict and frequently visited spas and wanted to eliminate them as a source of temptation. So yeah, they don't know if it's racially motivated, but they did say they did not add when he got the gun. They said it took place 3 hour. It was a 3 hour period, and he went 150 miles, traveled
Eh,
150 miles.
That's like, was that
Fuck.
within state lines? Because I'm trying to
Yeah,
come up.
in state lines. Yep.
Okay.
He stayed in Georgia. He never went out. I think if he went out, that could be considered federal.
Let's see if I can find anything.
Anyways, just gonna go check out what chat is up to.
Not a lot of chat, but let's see here. Georgia's no weight gun laws allows Robert Aaron Long to quickly buy a gun. Yeah, I'll send you a.
Tell me what it is. What place is it from?
New York Post.
New York Post. Okay, let me go check that out. Just staying updated, chat.
Well, this said dude's a racist. Yeah, that's what we're trying to figure out right now. In the New York Post article, they got this really just sad looking picture of him.
Oh, is this one it? This one, it says Georgia's no weight gun laws allowed Robert Aaron Long to buy
Yep, that's
a
the
gun
one. And
quickly.
there it is. There's the picture.
Wow. Wow. It says accused Atlanta area spa shooter Robert Aaron Long reportedly had no trouble buying a gun at a firearms dealership in Cherokee County on the day of the attacks, thanks to Georgia's no weight gun laws. The Peach State does not require a waiting period for firearm sales, which means a person may purchase one from a federally licensed gun seller immediately if they pass a background check. Long, who was charged with 4 counts of murder and 1 count of assault for the first shooting in Cherokee County, bought a gun from Big Woods Goods in Cherokee County. Matt Kilgo, an attorney for the store, confirmed to Newsweek. He said the store is cooperating with investigators and that there is absolutely zero indication there was anything improper with the firearm sale. Most background checks, if there's no flag on it, take about 100 seconds. Robert Thomas, executive director of Giffords Law Center, a national gun violence prevention advocacy group, told the magazine. So you're talking about 2 minutes at most, and then you have your gun. You can walk out of the door with no training, no other kind of information, she said. Giffords has given Georgia, which has the 14th highest gun death rate in the U.S., an F on its annual scorecard of gun laws in all 50 states. That's pathetic.
Yeah, it is.
Republican lawmakers are now pushing for new legislation that would allow lawful weapon carriers to pack heat without a license. On Wednesday, Matthew Wilson, a Democratic Georgia state rep, said in a tweet that in Georgia, it's easier to buy a gun than it's to vote. Wow.
Yeah, that was one thing I was seeing on social media going around, because some people can't like vote on the same day. That was going on during the elections,
Yeah.
like register to vote, but then they can register to buy a gun.
I know. I saw that too. I mean, that's just crazy to me.
Yeah,
And it says how.
I think it's interesting because if we go back to the Republican comments, their ultimate solution is just like, what? Why stop a way to stop a bad guy with a gun is a good guy with a gun.
Yeah, that's their logic.
But I don't know. If you were to ask me for my opinion, I think there should be a little bit more regulation there. I mean, personally, I am pretty pro gun. I think people should have the right to bear arms, of course.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm the same way too, but I think maybe there should be a waiting period like they do in they said this article actually stated that there are some states in the US and the District of Columbia. It says 10 states in the District of Columbia require waiting periods for gun purchases, with periods ranging from 72 hours in Illinois to about 10 days in California and DC. So I think that yeah, they should. You know how like what's crazy to me is that you can go onto Amazon, right? And you can buy, let's say, candy. That's going to come in 10 days. You can go to a gun store in some states like Georgia, get a gun and like.
Well, you can buy that candy in one day if you go to Walmart.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I'm just saying, like, that's the crazy thing to me is like you can buy a gun at the same time you can buy a like you can buy whatever else. So like a gun at this point is just a common good for some people. That's just crazy to me.
Yeah, it is crazy. I mean, people in like if we were to go based off like demographics of like rural America, I mean, people are just armed there. I mean, America has like I think more guns than people. It's
Mhm.
insane.
I think there's three guns to one people in some places.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's really crazy to think. And then in some countries, like in the UK, like it's knives to people. They just use knives instead of guns. And there's like everyone who has a gun is a police officer. That's about it. I mean, here everyone, like there's three. Some people have like up to like five guns to like one person in some places, and then three guns to one person. It's really
Right.
insane. But yeah. All right. Shout out to Big Don for finding this article for me, and shout out to the New York Post for
Providing us
reporting.
with objective, even though they lean a certain way. Like even New York Post.
I mean, we just try to get all different sources here, like
Hey, we
CNN.
don't.
It's a little more left wing,
Hey, we.
NBC a little left, Voice of America. I don't know how to explain them, but
Hey, guess
yeah,
what? Here
we give everyone a shot. You know what I
we give
mean?
everyone a shot. We don't tell you what to believe, and we give you the information to make your own decisions.
Yep, we're nonpartisan. We don't cap around like these other news sources.
Yeah, despite the fact that we made fun of Ben Shapiro last show.
Well, you know what? We made fun of like the liberals
We
two
did.
shows
I
ago.
love
So
I
you
love
know,
making fun of libs.
no one is safe on this program. We are the Peace and Chaos
It's like Don
program.
Rickles. He'll make fun of everyone, no matter what. Don Rickles was an equal opportunity. He will
Well,
make
you
fun
know
of
what? I
everyone
think I
equally.
think honestly that's what makes our show unique. There's not really a lot of programs out there that really go after both parties. We go after everyone. It doesn't matter what letter is next to your name, if it's a D or an R or an I. If you make something or say something stupid, we're going after you. Period.
Exactly.
Period.
So people don't say something stupid, especially to to all my friends out there, because we will call you out. We will probably invite you on the show.
All righty. Anyway, so just going back to the story, we kind of discussed it. So he did buy the gun the same day he committed the crime, which was within 3 hours from 4:50 to about 8 p.m. was he was when the shooting started. And so that is what is going on in the Atlanta shootings case, which has been the biggest story of the week.
Yeah, and now we're focusing to. Oh, let's shift to another big story that's brewing up. I was watching NBC Nightly News with your favorite Jose Diaz-Balart, and this was the first story that came up. We're going to talk about some spring break here.
Yes, let's go to spring break in Miami,
Spring
Florida.
break!
Let's go. Yeah, so spring break, a lot of schools this year at spring break. For Big Don and I, we go to the same college, as a lot of you know, and our school did not give us spring break this year. And there are a lot of colleges in the area and also around the country that decided this year, you know what, we're not going to be giving our students spring break because we're afraid that some of our students are going to go home, go back to where they are, hang out with people, and then who knows, they might get COVID and bring it back to campus. So a lot of colleges have came and have made the tough decision of canceling spring break for this year. So,
Yeah,
anyways, the city of Miami Beach on Saturday had to declare a state of emergency over spring break crowds that have descended on the South Beach destination. So I guess what happened is now they're going to have to do an 8 p.m. curfew, says Mayor Dan Gelber. And he said that shore-bound traffic on the city's causeways would be shuttered, which means he would not want them. And the measures will be in effect for at least 72 hours. So it's going to be there for at least 3 days. And I think it's because everyone goes to South Beach. I mean, I don't know if you saw on Twitter, Big Don, there were a lot of like parties
oh
today.
yeah, there were
Darties, a lot of darties in the streets of South
people,
Beach.
and not just that. People were getting into scuffles.
Oh yeah, there was a lot of fights. I mean, I could go pull up some fights on
Yeah,
Twitter and we could watch some.
when we were originally playing this podcast, we were planning on just covering like the policies behind like spring break and stuff like that. But now it's just completely taken a whole new thing of its own, and how
I
like
know.
the risk of COVID and stuff like that. A lot of this was actually discussed last year because people. This was during the time where COVID was starting to take into
Yeah,
effect, and then everyone was just like, "Oh, well, I don't want to get COVID," but then people would still go to it, and then they will get criticized for it.
All right, we have a super spreader Loretta right here, right now. Here it
I
is.
love it. Yep, that
This is just a
is.
big party in Florida. Yeah, this was just look at that. Look at that. You can't even no one's wearing a mask
This
either.
is.
Look at that. Like look how insane. This is
I feel like I'm watching 20
uni-
video from 2018.
I know, right? This is Eric Feigelding. He's an epidemiologist and health economist. And he tweeted this earlier, actually yesterday. Spring break partying, Miami South Beach. This isn't going to end well next month. COVID-19.
Oh
And this
yeah,
was courtesy of Janine Stanwood, just to give courtesy to the person who filmed this. And yeah, look at this. This is like full pack. No one's wearing masks. Look at it's like a full party. There was like a big dance and stuff. Like, yeah, it looks back to 2018. Like, seriously.
I swear. And now they're declaring a state of emergency. They're going. There's a war on these students. This is unbelievable. They're literally. They're going to send in a National Guard to break up everything. I swear.
Damn. Yeah. Well, you know what? I think they got to kick everyone out because, we're still in a pandemic. People don't really care.
Yeah, but how
I
are they
think-
going to do it though?
I don't
That is
know.
so
Look how
many.
many people were there. Had to be at least, I don't know.
There, I was watching some Barcelona videos the other day. There was a video of a guy that pretty much escaped the cop car, and then everyone just like started like running.
Really?
It's insane, dude.
Damn. Wow.
People
Insane.
did. I probably should have bought some like flight stock.
I know.
But no, this is absolutely crazy right here. I mean, we could talk about like what the repercussions of that. And by the way, I think we should pull up the current COVID rates
Yes, let's go get to that right now.
because chances are that's gonna spike.
Yeah, we're right now. We've actually been going down since the big hype on January 9th when we averaged the whole country. This is the US in total. The US on that day, January 9th, had 252,088 cases. And the average of that 7-day period was 254,000, just over 254,000. Now, as of March 19th, they updated it yesterday, not today. We only have new cases are 60,000, just around 60,500. And our 7-day average is now 54,214. So it has definitely gone down a lot. We did, however, surpass the deaths. We're now at 541,000 deaths for the country. Worldwide, we are at 2.69 million deaths. And the world has witnessed 122 million total cases. So that's including the United States of America. And however, for good news, 69 million people have recovered. So that is the good
That's
news.
good. Let's hear. Brock Brywood. I have not recognized his name. Are there any live streams of police kicking people off Ocean Drive? Well, we're not one of them.
No, we're not. We're not in Ocean, but
Let's see here. Is that in Miami? Because I feel like that's
yeah, I think it is. Yeah.
Let's see here. Ocean Drive. I'm not familiar with Miami, so Ocean Drive. Is it Atlanta? I don't know. Someone fill me in on this. Ocean Drive. I'm good. Miami.
It's Miami, right?
Thousands flock to Ocean Drive after Clevenger temporarily closes dining areas.
Oh, the Cleveland.
Yeah, there's probably some stuff going on right there. There's
Oh, there must be a lot of.
there's a lot of local news about it in Miami.
Oh yeah, there was like a whole party there today, and yesterday. Last night there was the big party in Miami, the whole street party.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't think we can play any of that because I'm pretty sure what went down there is pretty violent.
Yeah, we can't.
We don't
I
want to
know
get
if
any
we could
risk of
really. We don't want to get
demonetization,
any like issues with that, but I'm sure we could. I'm sure in the future we could make something like that. And thank you, Brock Brian Wood, for reaching out and letting us know about that. But anyways, going back to the COVID cases in the U.S. right now, they are going down. However, Dr. Fauci this week did state that he is afraid that we are going to see an increase like what is going on right now in Europe, where they are seeing a bit of a third spike or a third wave. And they're afraid that we could see that here in the US as well. But right now things are looking good. But let's go to Florida. Let's go see what Florida is up to in terms of cases. They are on the downswing like everywhere else in the country. However, right now in Florida, they are averaging about 5,100 cases a day. So the average for the 7 day is 4,485. So they are seeing a little bit of a decrease. However, what could mean with spring break? Could they see another uptick in cases? I mean, what really is the kicker here with this whole spring break party? And I mean, a lot of these students probably, some of them probably are from Florida, but others are probably from all over the country, and they just go there because this is probably their big spring break because they probably didn't go there last year, so they wanted to make the most out of it this year. And I mean, look, I mean, a lot of students and a lot of people, they're probably going to be from all over the country, you know?
Right.
So, I mean, we might not see it in Florida specifically, but we might see it in, I don't know,
Yeah, we could
New
see it
York.
like we got if we think about it. I mean, we're gonna see it in all these states because there's so many colleges out there. People, guess where these students will be going to? They're going to be going back to the big like Penn States, those Big Ten schools, those SEC schools. Even though some of them are in Florida,
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
they're not messing around. I swear.
Mm-hmm. I know.
I like how you just compared like college football teams, like basketball teams. March Madness should be something we should cover.
Oh yeah, that's going on today too. Did you hear about the Oregon game? Oregon State?
No, I didn't.
VCU had a forfeit.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's what went on today. That was a breaking news about an hour and a half ago. I think it was because so all the teams that had COVID, like people who tested COVID positive, I think it was even trainers or any team like that, they did not want them in the bubble in Indianapolis, so they just kicked them out. So yeah, they
Let's see
basically
here.
lost their shot
Yep,
because of
and
that.
now Oregon is moving on.
Yeah, they're going to round two. I don't know who they're going to match up with, but I think a lot of because that side of the bracket is playing tonight. Most of the games are tonight, and then round two, some of it starts tomorrow. But I don't know if you heard of this, Don, but did you hear about the women? The women's
Oh yeah, the workouts.
yeah, did you see that workout facility?
I did. They just gave him like a little,
Did you see
like
that
this
little
little
like
like bar of weights, and then the
yeah, but
men
there
just
was
got like the full thing.
I know that was ridiculous. And did you see the meals?
I didn't see the meals.
Oh my God. Remember how the NBA did the bubble and they were like expecting Disney to serve the players?
Yeah, with all those those foods you get like Disney.
The grilled cheeses and the infant food, I
Yeah, the
call it.
infant food.
Yeah, they're expecting grown men to eat that. Well,
They're
it kind of
expecting
was like the
Goofy to cook for them.
similar. Yeah, they were expecting Mickey Mouse to, give them some Mickey Mouse pancakes and waffles. Yeah,
Exactly.
well, anyways, they were basically um the women were given some junk food. Here, I can pull up a picture. They were given some like really junk food here.
Is this gonna turn into like what? I wonder
Huh?
what the like other side of the reaction is. Is it gonna be like a bunch of people that say like, "Oh, women's sports, WNBA. There's a reason why the WNBA sucks."
Oh yeah, there were people doing that.
It's
I
like you
can
don't
look it up.
deserve those weights.
Oh yeah, the food. Yeah, there's pictures all over social media. Oh yeah. Here's a good. I don't know if you can see that. See that? That's what the women get, and this is what the men got. Like full on
That's a
buffet.
whole buffet right there.
That's a buffet and
Look
a
at those
half.
steaks.
Damn. I don't know. Look at that steaks. Those look really juicy. And the mac and cheese.
My
Oh my
God.
gosh.
And, and then the women get like a little TV dinner right there.
That's a kid cuisine.
Yeah,
I grew up with
exactly.
that. I grew up with kid cuisines like every day. Oh my god. That looks like a kid cuisine.
Yeah, it does.
And they have flex packs too. Look at this. The men got the one on the left, the women got the one on the right.
Yeah, what the hell, NCAA?
I don't think they got deodorants.
I don't know. Does anyone want to try and justify this in chat?
I
Please
don't
do.
know. Yeah, the men got a lot. Because I think you have to have the same. Isn't that like it's equal? It violates a law actually.
I'm sure it does.
Yeah, it violates. Yeah, this could definitely be brought up in court. Like, yeah, this is pathetic. Really pathetic. And then here's like that's the men's one, and then that's the women's one. See, bottom and top. Look at the men's
Yeah.
one, and then the women's one. That's all they have. What a joke.
Is that a bed?
Yeah, it's probably like the ones where you can like go roll out.
Yeah,
I'm sure they put that
it
on.
looks
there.
like something you find like at a border camp.
Oh, these are sanitized yoga mats.
Oh, those are
What a
yoga mats. I thought
joke.
that was a bed.
No, this is a table. What a joke, though.
I don't know.
Right?
So what?
That's a huge slap in the face. And I heard the weights were not bigger than like 15 pounds. Look at that, though. The men got like a full clinic.
Is it? There's a woman in there.
Yeah, but I'm sure she was a trainer. Yeah, look at that, though. I mean, they are held at two different locations, so that might be a reason why the other location for the women could not accommodate. But for the one for the men in Indianapolis, I don't know exactly where it is, but they could accommodate it. So yeah, that's what was going on. But yeah, that's your little NCAA update. If you want to get a full bracket, we can go do a bracket breakdown right here.
Yeah, we might do a no bracket for a video.
Why don't we just go look at some of the games going on right now, right here?
Let's see.
Let's get your March Madness scores updated right here.
Only on the piece and well, probably a bunch of other places, but
all right. Today, I'll just give you a quick lowdown, unless you want to go through it, Big Don.
Let's see here. Georgetown lost. Poor Patrick. Florida State beat UNCG. Eastern Washington lost to Kansas. Let's see. LSU beat St. Bonaventure.
Mm-hmm.
Texas Southern lost to Michigan. Creighton beat UCSB.
Alabama took down Iona. USC beat down the Drizzy Drake 72-56. And right now, right here, Iowa is up by 10 on Grand Canyon.
Connecticut is losing.
Yeah, Maryland's beating them by 13. You have a close Ohio one with Virginia and Ohio, 5 points. And Oklahoma and Missouri are playing right now, 33-28. And then, later on tonight, we have Gonzaga. The Zags are playing Norfolk State, 1-16. That will be at 9:20. BYU, UCLA, 9:40 tonight.
I like that matchup.
And then there was a forfeited game today, 0-0 the final. Oregon topped VCU.
Yeah, we just talked about it.
And Texas is playing tonight. Hook 'em. They're playing 9:50 p.m. against ACU. And tomorrow, Sister Jean is back as they play Illinois. Is taking on Loyola, Illinois. That's going to be.
Oh no, battle of Illinois.
That's the Battle of Illinois tomorrow, 12:10. For all you Illinois people, that is 11:10 in the afternoon. 11:10 in the morning. Sorry.
That's gonna be something for them. It's gonna be like everyone's gonna be battling in the streets.
Damn, there's a lot of good games tomorrow. North Texas and Villanova, the Mean Green, 8:45 tomorrow night. Rutgers, Houston, 7:10 tomorrow. Syracuse, West Virginia, that's a good one. Oral Roberts, that team that upset Ohio State's playing Florida tomorrow. Oregon State and Oklahoma State, that's going to be a good one. And Wisconsin and Baylor, not bad. So yeah, these are going to be some fun games. And then for Monday, we're going to have USC and Kansas and LSU and Michigan. Those are only in Colorado, Florida State. Those are the only games that are determined as of right now.
Yeah, a couple good games here, kid. I'm impressed.
These are pretty good. I think it's because there haven't really been a whole lot of upsets in terms of. I mean, we've had a couple upsets.
Yeah, we had Ohio State.
I mean, you had Oral Roberts, and then North Texas took down Purdue. But other than that, we haven't really seen a whole lot of upsets. But that's going to be a lot of fun tomorrow. So, I mean, tomorrow and Monday for all of you. So we might actually do that then. All righty.
All right. We'll get into the moment we all been waiting for here.
Yes.
We're
going to the Snyder Cut. The Snyder Cut. Big Don.
So there's a lot of context behind this before I get into the actual review.
Let me just pull up a picture. Yeah.
Pull up a picture of Zack Snyder.
I got this one.
Okay, so Justice League. Zack Snyder's Justice League. So, if y'all don't know the story, so this is a comic book movie with all the major DC characters in it. This is pretty much the Avengers of DC. And this was and the original cut of this came out in 2016. Now, PJ, pull up a picture of Zack Snyder for me. So I'm going to So what originally happened here was Zack Snyder, who directed Man of Steel and Batman vs Superman, was supposed to helm this whole entire project all the way through. Now the original cut was very long, but 4 hours, and you still get the 4-hour version of this. But due to some circumstances, he had to drop out of the film because his daughter committed suicide right after they went into post-production. So he dropped out of that. Or there was also some rumors that they got fired. Obviously, they let him back on, which we'll get back to that. But they had to go for a reshoot process, and they decided to hire Joss Whedon. If that name sounds familiar, he is the director of the first 2 Avengers movies. He's also did Buffy the Vampire Slayer. So he did reshoots for that. And when the film came out during November 2017, there was a lot of backlash towards it. It looked like a whole different vision. It wasn't really the usual film that I would see. Now, keep in mind, DC films were pretty bad at this time, so it was like hard to say of like who was to blame here. But the tone of Justice League was very different from all the other films. So, of course, fans were not satisfied with that. So, what happened was, actually, one of the big memes that came out with it was during the reshoots, Superman actor Henry Cavill had a mustache for a Mission Impossible movie. And of course, Superman does not have a mustache. So what they decided to do was they badly CGI'd his face. So now he doesn't even look human during some scenes. It's really bad. So what happened was there was this whole giant movement of fans demanding that Warner Brothers release a Snyder Cut. And this took place for years. It got to the point where the main actors, guys like Ben Affleck, Jason Momoa, Gal Gadot, were all telling Warner Brothers to release a Snyder Cut. And about a year ago, Zack Snyder made it official that there was going to be a cut of Justice League that was going to be released on HBO Max. And as time went on, we found out that we're getting the full-on 4-hour version. And let me tell you something. That movie is long. It doesn't feel long, but you need to. If you're going to, it's impossible to do in one sitting. I'm telling you. They thought about doing a mini series on it, but they decided to just go, nah, we're going to do it uncut. And so my general thoughts on the film are this. It's a vast improvement over the original. Now, in terms of the actual dialogue that was being taken place, you could tell the difference between the theatrical cut of what was Whedon's version and the new cut that was Snyder's version. It's much more fleshed out because I feel like because the original cut was 2 hours long, and they had to introduce a crap ton of characters to it. So with 2 hours of extra time, they were able to flesh out a lot more characters, such as Cyborg and Flash. And then they were able to add additional scenes, like there's a nightmare scene between Ben Affleck's Batman and Jared Leto's Joker. They also introduced Darkseid. The action in it is a lot better. It's now rated R, so there is some gory stuff in it, like heads being chopped off. But overall, it's a vast improvement. And it's actually, if you like Batman vs. Superman, Man of Steel, if you like the tone of Zack Snyder, chances are this is probably his masterpiece. This is probably the most Zack Snyder's film you'll ever see.
Would you recommend it for people who liked movies like Joker?
Absolutely. I think it's a different type of tone. It's very much a comic book film in terms of concepts and stuff like that, and the action scenes are heavily like CG'd. Like some of the powers of these characters are now just like OP compared to what they originally were. Like Cyborg, for example. Cyborg in the original was just like this robot dude who had like a blaster. Now they gave him this ability to sort of, okay, you can now control like the world's nuclear code with a thought and control like the financial world. And then the Flash, he can now travel at the speed of light in this film. And they really probably the biggest takeaway in terms of the heroes of this film is Zack Snyder made them very godlike. Which, I mean, that goes into the mythos of sort of the modern day superhero. I mean, this is pretty much Greek mythology for us.
Yeah, that is kind of wild that he like added those kind of like he kind of made them seem like gods because like I mean to some people like the superheroes are gods, but like the way that he did it with this one, I didn't watch it, but to the sounds of it, it sounds like this is more of like a legend, or an epic.
It is very much an epic, especially compared to like the original one. I think what happened during the original one is they heard like the backlash of Batman versus Superman, and they decided to say, okay, we need a very lighter tone. We need to catch up with Marvel, and that's why I think they probably brought in Joss Whedon because he directed the Avengers. He did considerably well with that. So, but the problem with that is if you're going to try and make a whole different movie out of it, I mean, you're using the basis of Zack Snyder's sort of direction here. Of course, there were a lot of reshoots with it, but overall, it looked like two different filmmakers were going at it. But this is one that's a lot more clear in terms of the vision.
That sounds like it's a good movie. It sounds like they did a big improvement from the last one. Um, out of 10, or yeah, do you want to do a rating out of 10? Out of 10, what would you recommend it? And also like give a couple comments as to why you're going to give this number.
I'm gonna give it. I'll give it an 8. I'll give it a solid 8. Now, here's why. It's not a perfect movie. It still has its flaws. It still, at points, looks like a heavily like CG fest. But compared to like the last movie that they did, I mean, it's a lot more fleshed out. You care about the characters more. And if you really like Zack Snyder's vision, which sometimes I do, he's a very visual director, and he's not really about like storytelling in terms of like screenwriting and stuff like that. But he's a very good visual director and some great slow-mo shots throughout it. And if you like that kind of stuff, then this is the film for you.
Not bad. Sounds like a good one. Amazing.
Amazing.
Yeah, this one, I don't really watch a whole lot of long movies, but I'm going to try to watch this when I have free time because I do like superheroes. I think my favorite movie, my personal favorite is Joker. I thought Joaquin Phoenix like knocked that out of the park with his playing of it. And also the person I forgot who was the director of that.
Todd Phillips.
Todd Phillips did an amazing job. Like
Joker is actually in this movie, but it's not played by Joaquin Phoenix. It's played by Jared Leto.
Does he do a good job? Because I think Joaquin Phoenix did better than who was the first Joker?
Well, technically it's like Cesar Romero, or Jack Nicholson. But you're probably referring to like Heath Ledger.
I mean, Heath Ledger did amazing too, but I think
I like
Joaquin Phoenix. I like Joaquin Phoenix.
I prefer Heath. If I were to be
okay.
Jared's version, I mean, it's still Jared's version was very bad in Suicide Squad, and there's still some elements to it. But it was good to actually see him interact with Ben Affleck's Batman. Mm-hmm. Though I actually heard an interview where they said that they filmed them like 2 different days, so they weren't actually going off each other.
Wow. So didn't they film some of this in COVID, like during?
Oh yeah, they did. They had to do they filmed some scenes with it. There are some scenes where Ben Affleck looks very skinny, and he's lost a lot of weight.
Really?
Wow. Oh yeah, dude's clean now.
Really?
Dude looks good.
Who would you say played the best role in this movie? Any actors or actresses that like knocked it out of the park?
Ray Fisher as Cyborg, easily, because Ray Fisher was a no-name before he cast Cyborg. I think he was like a Broadway actor, and then he comes into this film just knocking it out of the park. He wasn't really that much fleshed out, but he's pretty much the heart of the film here in terms of the relationship he has with his father. They explored that. His father's played by the same guy that played Miles Dyson in Terminator 2. So that's a very good connection there. But in terms of that story, I mean, you really empathize with that character. And I think he's kind of like, he plays as kind of this audience role of like, okay, what is this world that we're living in?
I'm gonna look up Ray Fisher really quickly. Get a picture of him for the audience.
There are some also some other good performances there. I think Ezra Miller, who played Flash, was better in this one. But I think that came down to a lot of the scenes that Snyder shot, where he was just like full on unleashing his powers. He did, but they cut back on some of his jokes. But there's Ray Fisher. There he is as Cyborg. He really brings a lot of humanity to this role.
Really?
Yeah. Pretty much what happened with him was he got into an accident, and in order to save his life, his father had to use this thing called a mother box in order to assemble the bionic parts that he has in it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wow.
But they really flesh out his origins very well in this.
Not bad. Not bad.
But yeah, that's my review of Justice League. If you want to hear like all the spoiler stuff in it, then I don't know, leave a like. I might do a spoiler review just dedicated toward the Snyder Cut.
Yeah,
There's
leave
a lot to cover. Like I'm trying to be as vague as possible in terms of describing it.
Yeah, because I think a lot of people, some might have watched it. I've never watched it. I might be watching it maybe maybe during the summertime when I'm a little bit less.
The only way to
busy.
watch it, unless it's on theaters or you get like a Blu-ray of it, is for HBO Max.
Okay. I don't have that. I don't know why they keep doing that now with all the movies. It's like it's either on Netflix, HBO, because
Disney
like
Plus.
theaters are like shut off. At this
Yeah,
point,
Disney Plus.
theaters are like done. Yeah, Disney Plus as well. Hulu, right? Hulu has movies too.
Hulu has some movies.
And I mean, yeah, Netflix. I have Netflix, so kind of is tough. And on demand as well. I mean, Xfinity has whatever that one is called, Peacock.
Peacock.
Mhm.
And Paramount has one as well. Everyone's trying to get. People are noticing the business model for streaming, and now they're taking notice.
Oh yeah, they're definitely trying to go with what's going on right now, and I think we're going to see that people aren't really going to want to go out to watch movies when they have a TV or a laptop in their own home, and they'll
If
just
they have a
watch
good
it on
sound
there.
system, then you don't even need to go out.
Oh no, a lot of people. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of better like sound systems out there too. And I mean, TVs today already have pretty good sound systems. So like I think in the future we're gonna have even better ones. Like Bose is probably gonna do another one. JBL will probably make some better ones for TVs and stuff like that. So I think we're gonna see some. I think we're gonna see you're gonna bring the cinema to your house.
Yeah, I think this is a big step in the right direction for Warner Brothers, because if I were to think like the two streaming giants right now, it's Netflix and Disney. But with this release, I mean, this opens up the gate of possibilities for what they can implement. Well, Marvel. I mean, they're doing TV shows on Marvel, but will they do like full on films with this?
Mm-hmm. I see. Yeah. Exactly.
But Justice League, the Snyder cut, not the original cut, the Snyder cut. Good movie, 8 out of 10. If you have the money, go purchase that HBO Max subscription. Go watch it. Go watch whatever else is on HBO Max that you may enjoy. I know Godzilla vs. Kong is coming out.
Hmm. Yeah, there's a lot of movies, a lot of like remakes.
Yeah, because
what
that's
I've
how Hollywood
noticed.
makes their money.
True. I mean, if once people like it, they'll just stay loyal and watch it again.
Exactly. I mean, but overall, good movie. And I hope they bring back the Zack Snyder first for this, because now they got the fans on their side.
Mm-hmm. Bingo. All righty, let's go back to Twitter. Let's just venture right back to Twitter and let's go check out what is trending before we call it a stream. All right, anyways, let's go on to Twitter, check out the tweeting situation. Let's go trending live in the United States right now. Versus is trending. Yukon is trending. UFC 22 Vegas is trending. LeBron is trending because he got injured. Just some other things.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
lost to the Hawks.
Yeah.
I'm not sure
Miami
how long
Beach
he's going
is
to be out
trending.
for.
Yeah, this is what's going on right now. Axios. Miami Beach. big curfew down in Miami. Other things going on is mostly related to the March Madness tournament going on right now for the men and also for the women. And other than that, it's a lot of UFC tonight because a lot of the stuff has been going on is UFC. Let's go over to news really quick before we call it a night. As of today, magnitude 6.9 earthquake has struck off the coast of Japan, and they have recorded it at 6.9 for magnitude. Other issues going on right now. A lot of other issues just related to coronavirus and also just politics. But
Oh yeah, Liz requested for me to bring this up. What do you think of the whole entire super straight stuff that's going around?
super what?
Super straight
Oh, with that
TikTok memes.
I don't know. TikTok.
Yeah, well, I think it was on Twitter as well, but there's this whole movement of like people saying they were super straight because they don't want to date trans women. And I mean, no.
Oh yeah, I saw about this week. It was trending. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, people were just saying it. I think this is like a rendition of like the attack helicopter meme.
Huh. Really?
But I don't know. I don't know. Some of it was kind of just like saying like, "Oh, I don't want to date like a trans woman." A lot of it was pretty transphobic. Like, saying,
Oh
like,
yeah. I think it's because for straight, like there's like a category where you could date someone who's trans. I think.
you could, but I
I
don't
think that
know.
would be
I wouldn't
considered.
quote. Depend. People are going to be questioning of like whether or not like it's an actual sexuality, not because I don't know. You got all these like new concepts coming in for
I know.
these conservative lads,
I know they super straight.
super straight.
Sounds like at first I don't know what you were talking about. I was like, is super straight like a superhero?
Super straight. It's like a it's
You know
like
that
the PragerU
the
superhero.
PragerU superheroes like Antifa Freddy. Who else was there?
There was like a there's some like news conference that Ben Shapiro and like Dennis Prager did called Cancel Con, and they had the cringiest animation of all time.
Oh no, we have
It's
to
like
do.
that's probably where Super Straight originated from, but it
We have
was
to do a
originally like a
reaction to
TikTok
that.
saying like, okay, it's like why won't you date trans women? It's like you know what, I'm now super straight, so you gotta so libs, you gotta accept my sexuality now.
Wow, super straight. Wow, there's a new
Yeah,
creation every single day. It feels like.
people are just memeing online.
Oh, yeah, people are just going politics now. They're just bringing politics into everything.
Look, I gotta do a whole entire seminar because I've gone off rants about this week. People need to have good etiquette when posting online politics, and some people do it goodly, some people do it absolutely terribly.
Oh yeah, like if you go on Twitter, there are so many accounts. Like people just don't care what they say, and I understand like that. That is like I think there's a gray area between what is First Amendment and what is etiquette, you know? What is appropriate to say when I mean you could say it under the First Amendment, but what is something that's inappropriate? And there's so many people out there today that just don't have a filter, you know what I mean?
Yeah, they
They don't
troll.
care.
They don't really like bring anything to. They don't add anything to the conversation going on. They're just kind of just like taking stabs at people.
Exactly. It's pretty crazy.
I don't know, and I kind of alluded to this before. I've seen like tons of friends doing this. I'm like, and now I'm starting to call them out.
Yeah,
I'm calling it.
we're gonna be doing a thing on the Peace and Chaos Instagram and probably the next week or so where we're just gonna start doing like these little info type things of like how to post and things like that. We're also going to be making some other interesting posts on Instagram as well for that and also on Twitter too. I think Twitter is not really so much of like the Instagram type stuff. So we're going to be doing mostly like news kind of things on Twitter, but on Instagram, we're going to be doing a lot more of these info posts where we're trying to get people to actually like understand, you know?
Yeah, because there's a lot of bad faith arguments being taken place online. Not really anything into the debates that's going on. In fact, I press people on this, and they're just like, "Oh, I'm just doing it just because it's funny." I'm like, dude,
Yeah, I hear you. Oh yeah, people just jump on the bandwagon. You know what I mean? They don't really have any like original ideas.
Yeah, exactly. They repost stuff.
I know. I think people need to get more creative. I mean, also don't forget, social media is like a clout chasing sport. I call it
It
a
is.
clout chasing sport. If you get the most likes, you're a winner. You know what I mean? And if you don't get any likes, well, too bad you lost.
You're at the
And it's
bottom of the
like,
food chain. How do you think I feel about the piece of chaos Instagram here?
hey, you know what? We're just getting started. We've
Yeah,
only
we
been
got
on
our
for a
reviews.
couple
We got
weeks.
we got some people in chat tonight. Full thank you for everyone. I know we got. We're probably gonna be ending stream soon, but
Yeah, we're going to be ending stream in a couple of minutes. Yeah, probably in about a minute or two. But thank you, everyone, today. Thank you, Liz. Thank you, Brock, for stopping in. And thank you, everyone else, for maybe tuning in for a couple minutes and then bouncing. But we appreciate everyone who watched this today. It really means a lot to both Big Don and I. And next week, so I'm actually not going to be on the program, but Big Don, you have some guests coming in. Is
I have
that
some
true?
guests of mine. If any of you want to be on the Piece of Chaos program as a temporary co-host, please message me at the Piece of Chaos Instagram, or if you have my socials, then they can message me on that. Whatever works for you. I'll probably be reaching out to some people.
Oh, yeah, and you can also put it in a comment on this live stream once it's over. You can watch it again. You can comment us. And we always check our comments on all different videos. And also you can DM us right here on Twitter or Instagram as well. Also go make sure to follow us on Twitter, that is Peace and Chaos P1, Peace and Chaos P1, and also on Instagram, which is Peace and Chaos underscore podcast. That is Peace and Chaos underscore podcast. So you can never miss a beat. All right, everyone. I think it's going to be it for today. I appreciate everyone for tuning in with us, and also have a good week. And next week, Big Don will be there. And 2 weeks from now, I'll be back. We'll have some guests on in the next couple of weeks and some great content to go with it. Thank you, everyone. This is DJ Ace Man, along with the legendary Life of Big Don. We're calling it a night. See ya.
Peace.